So first of all, I think that we have much more in common than there are controversies between the positions of Hungary and other EU member states, because our position vis-à-vis Ukraine and Russia is the same as that of the other 26 EU member states. So we condemn Russia's aggression against Ukraine from the first moment on. We are very clear on that. We are trying our utmost in order to support Ukraine. And when we speak about the geographic setting of Hungary, which means that we are a direct neighbor to Ukraine, we also shouldn't forget that we have an ethnic minority of Hungarian ethnics living on the territory of Ukraine, 150,000 people, which is for us a decisive number. So we are not only indirectly hit by the war in Ukraine, but actually directly. We are losing lives of Hungarians or the members of the Hungarian ethnic minority. So I think that when the substance is concerned, then our position is the same as that of the European Union. When it's about the methods, then the positions may differ. But I think that we should rather concentrate on what we have in common than what we don't exactly share the same views in.
And that's absolutely important to look at what is in common. But at the moment, the Ukrainian delegation, and I was here for the NSA meeting on Sunday as well, is crying out for more support, both diplomatically and militarily, and of course economically as well. There is an accusation from some in Europe that it is Hungary that is holding up that financing as well. How can that gap be bridged between the view of Hungary and Prime Minister Orban and that of the other EU members?
Ukraine needs support, that's for sure, and we have to further support Ukraine. I completely share that view personally, and Hungary as a country as well. So that is the most important, and I just very much hope that we will find the method how to further support Ukraine financially at the next EU Council.
Do you think that actually that there will be some form of combination of views? I mean, Mr. Orban on one side at the moment, the rest of the EU, the other. It's not a comfortable position for Hungary to be in, to be against all the friends and allies, is it?
Well, it's not about being feeling comfortable or not feeling comfortable, even if I'm not in the shoes of the Prime Minister. But I think what we should, again, concentrate on is that we have to support Ukraine. But I also have to say something or add something. I just had a good discussion with the Foreign Minister of Ukraine. I was in Kyiv 2 times in the last year. I met President Zelensky several times. I completely understand their position. I completely understand that they seek for support from everybody at the largest extent they can. Maybe that is exactly what I would do if I were in their shoes. So it's very difficult to imagine what we would do if we were Ukrainians. But also in the meantime, I am the president of Hungary, and we live still in a peaceful country, and we still in Switzerland, we live in a peaceful country, and that goes for Europe, and that goes for the NATO countries as well. So what I just would like to emphasize is that we are not at war. The NATO countries, the EU countries are not at war. So even if we support and we keep further supporting Ukraine, we shouldn't get militarily involved in this war, and we should avoid the escalation of the war, and we shouldn't find ourselves in a third world war, and 2024 shouldn't be 1914. So it should be 2024 should be the year of peace rather than the year of war.
I almost have to wrap up this interview. I must ask you one more question. Do you see a route to peace at the moment? It's very difficult for many of us who have been observing this for the last 2 years or the last 10 years since Crimea was invaded. Very difficult to see the route either diplomatically or militarily. Do you see a way through this?
That is, I think, now the $1 million question. And there I also have to say that it is crucial that we find a path towards peace, but it will be very difficult, or I would even say impossible, to reach peace negotiations without involving both partners or all partners. So without even speaking to Russia or try to sit Russia also to the negotiating table, I don't think what will happen. So I think that we have to find and figure out the way how we among ourselves reach a consensus, and then how we can approach also either through China or through somebody else or directly Russia, to be able to negotiate with them, because peace talks, negotiation, ceasefire, and that leads finally to a peace which we all want.
President Novak, thank you very much.